Disclaimer, I know that some of you probably clicked on this video because you're excited to see a reaction to your favorite rapper, but I'm a pessimist. In all honesty, I am taking a very realistic approach to these albums and how I listen to them, how I respond to them, so don't expect me to be jumping all around because I know I'm not gonna like every single thing from every single artist. I'm not doing it, alright? It's not me. So we got X releasing a new project called 17, and I don't know what to say about it. Obviously, you haven't listened to it yet, but I am excited for it. X has been releasing some pretty good music, or he's released some pretty good music in the past, and I want to see a follow-up to that, man. He's definitely giving me some really good examples of what he's capable of, not necessarily what he's done in every single track. I hope, at least within his Kodak Black performance that was on Kodak's new tape recently, that he can perform similarly on this project and give me some of that same entertainment fact. I'm not trying to rank him too high or expect too much, but you guys tell me this dude is like the Lord of the Underground. I'm expecting a little something. I also know that this album isn't about, you know, people that are in their right state of mind. This album is about for people who are a little bit down in their luck, a little bit under the weather. For the most part, not feeling life. So we're gonna go into this project knowing that that is the theme that it's supposed to maintain. Hopefully it's not sleepy, but I will try my best to get into it. X 17. Let's just try this out. See, I don't get it, man. You want to be respected, but you're releasing albums out here that are like 7 minutes long. I don't know what you want me to do. First track, The Explanation.
A collection of nightmares, thoughts, and real-life situations I've lived. And I cannot stress this enough, literally entering my mind. I value acceptance and loyalty. Here is my pain and thoughts put into words, or at least numb your depression.
I need you to get a pop filter. I'm sorry.
I love you. Thank you for listening.
I love you
Enjoy.
too. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about it. Track number 2, Jocelyn Flores. Jocelyn Flores. This is the name of the friend who had the incident a couple months ago, I believe.
I know you're somewhere.
Okay. I know nobody else was expecting that when it first dropped. Like, you listen to this song, you get into the first few seconds, you're like, oh man, the album's supposed to be about people who aren't really feeling life. Then you get this in there, it's like so smooth and so sensual. This is the type of music I want from you. I don't want no more of that screaming stuff, I don't want no more of the rapping. Become a singer, R&B, all day.
Shots in my brain, I've been tripping about some things can't change. Switch at the same time, on tape, put your disc in bag, get a phone call. Right at your body,
feel you.
Niggas been inside about the grave.
Oh man. Why you have to hit me like this? I think the thing that has me so attracted to a track like this is the fact that we don't normally get X on like really clean or as clean as possible production. I think a lot of the time it's really muddy. You can tell it's produced in kind of a cheap way. And I like the fact that his bank account has increased to the point where he can pay for this nice production, because I think this is where he shines. I think more people will find him more desirable on tracks that are produced really well, so they don't feel like they're, you know, thrown inside of a garbage disposal. Really good job. I like the sentiment. The name is the chick that he was referring to months ago in another song you released, Garrett's Revenge, I believe it was called. So nice first track. Track number 3, Depr3ssion Obsession. I can't really say I'm a fan of that track, mainly because I know what a good acoustic is supposed to sound like. It just doesn't fall into that category. I like, again, the versatility that X is trying to attempt on a song like this, but it just kind of falls short for me when I feel like he could go easily somewhere else, or include production that's not necessarily putting him as the center of attention, because when all the attention is focused on you on a track like this, you need to be saying a lot, you know. And it's not to say that I don't accept his emotion or I don't accept what he's saying. It's just to say that when you have this track that's primarily focused on you and geared on you, and everything around it is meant with the intention of upping you as the center of attention, I feel like you really, really need to delve deep. Like real deep. Like reach inside yourself and pull everything out. Track number 4, everybody does in their nightmares. I mean, I got a million theories for that. Just fall asleep.
My damn mind, tired lie. Tell the brother my life is a damn game. Nigga really wanna die in the nighttime. Get attached, cause these hoes 5 sodas like lit magic.
So for that track, I love, like I said, what he's doing with his vocal pattern and rapping. I think the lyrics of the song could be put together a little bit better, but as a whole, I really like it. It's probably the appropriate length because I don't think I could have dealt with a flow that doesn't change like this one does for like 3 minutes. So he definitely did the right thing by ending it at around 1.5 minutes. Enjoyed the track. It's just, you know, what more am I getting? You know, what is it about X's mind that I didn't get, you know, when I was 17? Like, that's my thing so far. When it comes to this project, I wouldn't say I was necessarily in this bad state, but I had some really dark thoughts when I was 17. Like, and not in the sense of like, oh man, you just, you know, you had a bad life. Like, no, I was in a good place in life at 17, but I had really horrible thoughts. Thoughts that at some point could make some of this seem like this is my day of relief in reference to some of the stuff that X is talking about here. It's just like pretty standard. But maybe that's what he's going for. And he's not just referencing himself. Maybe he's not going as deep as he could because he wants more people to connect to it who have more surface level versions of it or who are in these low states of life based off issues that are a little bit more simple. Track number 5, Revenge. Oh yeah, I've heard this one before. What do I say, really? What do I say? I've given more intricate thoughts on this track months ago, but for the most part, it's okay. Like I said, the sentiment is nice. I get where he's coming from, but it's okay. That's it, to be honest. Track number 6, Save Me.
Anybody here wanna be my friend? Listen in my head, feeling me, I'm gonna end up dead.
I'm trying to put myself in this track. I like what this album is trying to discuss. It's just done in such a generic way to me, and I'm not trying to say it in such a negative way. It's not really. I think he's capable of more than this. If I didn't, then I wouldn't feel the need to mention it. I just feel like the track itself is kind of cliche in the sense that you could easily get this same vibe from a sad movie. If I'm in the mind of X, are you telling me that I could get this exact same feeling from a movie that came out back in 2006 that has more to do with a guy who's leaving his wife because she's pregnant from another guy? That's just the narrative that I'm painting in my mind. Like, I can easily get this feeling anywhere other than this, and possibly be a little bit sadder and empathetic. I like this. It's just so meh. You know what I mean? I feel like the tracks where he's not really doing this vibe attracts more people. But again, these are thoughts that I'm going to save for the end of the video because I got a lot to talk about to some degree. Track number 7, Dead Inside. I love on everything of this project, the tracks are already short enough and he decides to put one track on here that's an interlude. Like I said, I already heard the track before. We're really getting the ball rolling with this emotion right here. I'm really feeling like there's a storm inside me and I'm boiling over like a pot. Next track, F, Love, featuring Trippie Redd. I have never listened to Trippie before, so this is gonna be a first.
Ooh. Baby, I need you in my life, in my life. Please make them go switches out.
Is Lil Uzi Vert going under another name now, or what is this? No hate on the track, I just, dude sounds incredibly like Uzi, like incredibly. It's like the same guy, the vocal tone and everything. Okay. I could say it's a little bit more upbeat than the previous. Again, trying to prevent people from going down that incorrect path when you're in such a low state in life. I appreciate the sentiment. Move on to track number 9, Carry On. Please tell me I'm gonna like this.
Rest in peace.
There you go.
Cold shoulder, heartbroken, misspoken. I'm cut open on my head. I see your face, I hate that I love you still.
I like that. I'll be honest, I like that. I think that's really creative. I'm saving every thought. If you really want to get my true opinion on this thing, stay to the end. Track number 10, Orlando. Oh. You know, it's getting down to the wire, and I do want to give my opinion on this thing. I can appreciate, like I said, the sentiment of all of these tracks so far, but we're coming up on the last track, Ayala, outro. Alright, man, that was XXXTENTACION. Alright, so here's the thing, right? I like where this thing is trying to go. I enjoy the sentiment. I love that X released a project for a certain demographic, a certain group of people that he can probably identify with better than the people who are probably going to critique this music. So everybody knows that he's probably going to have a reason for every single track on here. Reasons that I really don't need to hear to develop my opinion on where I feel like this thing falls short. And the biggest thing I can see about this project that falls short is the fact that it's so cheesy at some points. And I'm not even talking about the fact that, you know, being at a low state of life is cheesy. That's not what I'm saying in the slightest. But the way these emotions and the way it's depicted in this project is just so basic sometimes. It's as if sometimes he feels like putting sad music in the background, putting a piano with a single guitar in the back is gonna make people connect deeper to a track because it's either an acoustic or they can hear his voice way clearer than they could before. Then when you get him rapping or saying things from the perspective of someone who is clearly not in the right state of mind, or someone who is at a very low point in life and is trying to depict that imagery, you don't really get that when, like I said, I've watched movies. I felt more sorry for a baby falling over than I have for half of these tracks. And like I said, this isn't to be funny or an insult. I'm genuinely telling you how I feel. X did on this project what a lot of artists tend to do when they get to this level. They, you know, care about their demographic, which I appreciate. I like the fact that he cares about his audience and his fan base. But I don't get how making depressing music is supposed to help a person who is depressed. I get you're trying to say you can probably relate to me. I'm going through the same things or have gone through the things that you've gone through. But for me, making music to keep this person in that state of mind at some points, for majority of this project, from what it seems, isn't to their benefit. And I like the fact that on this project, even on the album cover, you say there is no end to this emotion, you just have to become numb to it. That's a really unhealthy way to handle this. Don't overcome such a severe issue by being numb to it. There is no numbing. If you can make an entire album talking about the inside of your brain and how it works, guess what? You're not really numb to it. You still feel it. I would have preferred him get on this project and really go in on the fact that this is a real issue that is affecting multiple people. I don't need him to get on this thing and you know, rap from the perspective that he's rapping from and do it in such an unclear, so surface level way at some point. I mean, dude, you have a huge following. X has a huge following he could really do something with. And I feel like it's dangerous to not deliver in areas where you 100% could completely captivated your audience, and to not go all the way in when discussing such a serious subject is a little disappointing. I think the tracks on here that he does well, obviously the Jocelyn track, a couple of other tracks on here that also maintain a theme of, you know, soothing, sensual kind of music. That's where I feel like X performs his best. He also experiments with his flows a couple of times, and the songs themselves just aren't so formulaic. They actually feel like he's incorporating some versatility into a couple of the tracks. To put that into context, the majority of this album is really short, and it has me thinking that rappers these days that release music in this style literally make music that is to be quickly consumed. The point isn't to make a project short so it can be easy to listen to. The point is to make a project easy to listen to so it seems like it's short. Just has a lot of the other people thinking, not myself, because like I said, I know what X is capable of. I know what he sounds like when he's entertaining. This just isn't it. It has a lot of people thinking that he just can't be good consistently. This is why he released a 22-minute project. The very intro of the track, it's something that I would never expect a guy like X to say, which is when he comes into the track saying that He doesn't care about people's money. I would not expect the guy who goes on Twitter and talks about, you know, severely disabling the throats of young women. I wouldn't expect him to be the guy to say, oh, I want your acceptance. Knowing the background that you have, knowing, you know, the style of music that you make, I don't think or wouldn't think you care about anyone's opinion. Maybe that's to be obviously interpreted and I'm just going too deep into it, but to be honest, that's what I got. I don't want to go on too long with this thing. I know that there are some people that are loving it. If you love it, please still enjoy it. If you don't, let me know why. You know, it could be represented so much better. This idea, this concept, X himself. So X17 enjoyed the project for what it was supposed to be. Disappointed because of what it could have been. Liked literally about 2 tracks on here a lot, and the guy you actually decided to have on a feature is like a carbon copy of a guy whose album I'm about to listen to in a few minutes. Don't take offense, any of X fans or, you know, possibly X himself. This is just my opinion. Keep prospering, keep making great music, keep pushing your ideas out there. Hopefully there are other people out there who interpreted this differently and who got, you know, a lot out of it. I hope you do, but for me, it's not hitting. Shawn C, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm out. I just need